had some shrubs and flowers and stuff put in the front yard to make it look nicer a couple months ago, and they're like, until it freezes, just try to water it as much as you can. Not gonna have to worry about that in the next couple days. The garden hose is gonna be over on the side of the yard there. Won't need that. So.
For sure. I mean, I think a lot of the irrigation systems have been shut down too. I mean, the growing season's essentially over. We kind of got lucky because we didn't get our first frost until really it was this past weekend. It was one of the latest ever. So for all intents and purposes, though, the growing season's been over for a couple of weeks now. Yeah, Goldie doesn't need to do any watering. We've got all of this water coming. There's a low pressure center that's starting to form off the mid-Atlantic. That's going to turn into a bona fide nor'easter. All kinds of problems for the Northeast. A lot of flooding issues, especially south of us, and then wind issues along our coastline from Maine all the way down through southern New England. We're starting to get our first little wave of rain work in off of the Gulf of Maine. It's all pretty sporadic right now. It's more showery than steadier rain like they're getting down around New York City. But some of these showers are kind of heavy. Buckfield up to Sumner, eventually up through the Rumford area too, up to about Route 2. It won't get much farther than that though, the rain from this storm system. Temps are chilly in the 40s. Rangeley with the clearer air is about 37. And while there isn't a ton of wind yet, there is enough to create a wind chill. For the first time this season, I got to show you this. Wind chills are in the 30s in some spots to around 40 degrees. So low pressure over Pittsburgh, PA is transferring energy off of the mid-Atlantic right now. And this storm system is going to blow up into a bona fide nor'easter, and it's going to do a funky track up to about Nantucket, curl back toward Long Island, and then sweep out to sea. To do that, it's going to take time. So this won't just be a one-day event. This is going to be a two-day event with rain and wind throughout. So this morning, those showers will continue to expand inland, and there'll be varying intensities. I showed you some of the heavier ones up in the Oxford Hills, but there'll be lighter ones out there too. It will be cold and it will be raw everywhere. Midday, nothing really changes. Rain showers up to the western Maine mountains, not much farther north than Bangor though through the day. Chilly breeze begins to pick up out of the northeast, and this afternoon and evening it's really going to blow pretty hard. Relentless bands of rain set up along our coastline, and there'll be gusty winds too out of the northeast. Drive safely during this weather pattern. The mornings, the sun doesn't rise till later. In the evenings, it's setting earlier. There'll be wet leaves on the ground all the time, so drive safely during commuting hours. As we head into the evening, more steady rain, but notice northern Maine not getting much at all. So we'll pick up the story about midnight tonight. Rain continues through the overnight, right into tomorrow morning too. We're still getting these bands setting up basically over the southern half of the state. And then finally by midday tomorrow, they'll start to break up a little bit, although it's still wet, it's still raw, it's still cold. Evening hours, fewer rain showers, a lot of them are pushing offshore, and then by Thursday, everyone's getting back into some much needed sunshine and a break from the rain for now. We will end up though with some drainage issues likely in these heavy downpours, with the heaviest rain from Portland down through York County and Seacoast, New Hampshire. Very little rain north of Route 2. Look at that, Caribou, Millinocket, Greenville stays basically dry. Rangeley, just some light showers, less than a half of an inch though. But Bangor's going to get an inch. Augusta, Lewiston, you're probably closer to 2 inches, and over 2 inches for some of the coastline here. We'll watch the rivers. I think they're going to be okay. It's more about the basements and some of the streets that get clogged up with some of the leaves out there. The wind is also going to be a story, picking up throughout the day today, gusting this afternoon over 30 miles per hour. We go into the overnight, that's when the storm gets closest to us, and that's when we could have some gusts that top 40 miles per hour, and that could lead to some scattered power outages along the coastline. We have trees that have leaves on them still, and the ground is soft and wet and not frozen solid like it is in the winter, so the threshold for power outages is lower. Keep in mind, there's also a lot of Halloween decorations out there. You might want to, if you can, bring them in. If you can't, they might get blown around the neighborhood a little bit. Gale watch is up for the storm. Seas growing through the day. Winds picking up through the day out of the northeast. Rain and wind today. The rain lingers tomorrow. We got the gusty winds too tomorrow. High temperatures not much better than 50. Thursday, Friday, a lot better. We'll be in the mid to upper 50s. Another rain event here on Saturday. That could be heavy too into the night. But on Halloween, it's turning out much better. We'll develop a little sunshine, should be dry for the trick-or-treaters, and nice weather for early next week, too.
Well, that'll be great. Kids deserve that.
They do.
Get out there and not have to be wearing hats and mittens and
It'll be mild. Yeah,
cover all
those
their
temps
costumes.
aren't terrible, so that's good.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.